It's time for Aggro Chat, the official podcast of the stalwart gaming community, where we talk about stuff and things and the stuff about things, and sometimes gaming. Let's start the show. Hey folks, it's that time again. Time for another episode of Aggro Chat. This is episode 576. I'm Kodra, and tonight I'm joined by Ace.
Hello.
Ammo.
Hello.
Ashgar.
Hello.
Thalen.
Hey there.
And Tam.
Hello.
All right. I know that Tam, you sort of saw this game, got us all copies of it, and so for the past month, we've been walking big.
Oh my god. If you're listening to this, find some friends, get Big Walk, and play it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Even just one friend. You can play it with just two people. It's better with more, but you can do two.
And it's one of those, there's so few games where it's like, this is a multiplayer co-op game, and also it's totally okay if people hop in or hop out at different points. That's so rare, but it works.
Yeah.
Or at least it feels like it works to me.
Yeah. So basically, when you start a game, you set it to either 2, 3, or 4 players, and that's basically the minimum number of players you need for the puzzles in the game. You can have more, but if you set it to 4-player, then you're going to need 4 people to solve puzzles.
So I've missed the last couple of sessions because they've been this weekend, and I've been at Dragonflight. I have been kind of worried I am missing out on key moments of the game, which is kind of a challenge I have with it. Because the fact that it is drop in, drop out does mean that I'm probably not gonna see the whole thing.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat, but also I don't know if it matters that much to me because when I am in, I'm having so much fun.
Yeah. I know that there is at least one foretold, what's the word? For when something is imminent and you can see it coming but it hasn't happened yet.
Inevitable?
Well, inevitable,
Telegraphed?
sure. Yeah, telegraphed. Or I know there's a better literary term for this.
There's another word, and I can't think of it either.
Yeah,
but yeah.
Anyways, there's an event that's
Foreshadowed.
Foreshadowed!
Yes.
There's the word. I was like, it's got a 4 in it. There's a foreshadowed occurrence that I will be sad if I miss, is what I would say. Specifically, I want to be there when we go over the wall.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Well, and the thing that I really like about it is that it's relatively clear what things are gonna do, so it's easy to look at it and say, "Oh, let's wait for everybody to be here." Whereas, the place that we got, the last time we played, the place that we got to, and the reason, I have the save, the place that we got to, we did a bit, because we pulled Ash in and we're running around with ammo, and we did a bit, much less than when we were there with 7 people.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm really, most of what we did made me more excited to go in with a big group, which was interesting because we found 2 more walkies.
I think
Was
we
it one or
found
2?
the one. I think just the one. We found the other yellow one.
Because we found one of those, and then we got a fast travel thing going, not the tram.
Great. So to sort of clarify, one of the key points of this game is that there is, please do not use your voice communication software, third-party voice communication software, because there is localized voice comms.
Yeah.
And it's really good, and it really adds to the experience. And also, there are ways of circumventing it, like walkie-talkies that you can carry with you, so you can talk to people over long distances.
Mm-hmm.
And
there's
also
so many little weird things that you can pick up, and that some of them have a point, some of them don't have a point. Maybe some of them you could come up with a point for.
Well, and very importantly, in this game, your voice comms are very limited to a relatively short range, but notably your arms, you can move your arms in a whole bunch of different ways, and
You can point at things.
you can point at things and also come up with semaphores so that you can communicate over longer distances.
Yeah.
It's really funny. But yeah, like the core of the game is like you're wandering around just a big island that's like vaguely Australian, I think.
I
Maybe.
am not getting Australia, but
I
I'm
don't
not really getting much specific from it.
I mean, it's got some like Badlands sort of area. It's got some jungle sort of area. Like it may just be like multiple biomes all crammed together. I don't know, but it's very pretty.
Yeah. But then in the like in this big island there's all kinds of deeply incongruous looking brightly colored structures.
Yeah, they stand out.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
stand out as
The environment is gorgeous, and then the things that you mostly are interacting with stand out very starkly from the environment.
which is really good because you'd get so lost
You'd get
if they
so
weren't.
lost.
Yeah, I mean, it's you get lost anyway.
You do
but-
get lost. I do think one of my favorite moments was like I saw something and I started wandering off. And I was like, hey guys, I see something. Guys, turn around. No one is behind me. Oh no. Time
I
to
had the-
comb the island.
I had the thought recently. Like I had the thought because we when Emma and I were showing we're getting Ash into it, we took the first big walk and got the radio. It occurred to me that radio might actually be really useful because you could turn it on and then everyone knows that if you can't hear the music, you need to find people. You could just
Oh, yeah.
Hmm.
the music's a radius and it's a slightly bigger radius than the talking radius, I think. So even if you can't hear people talking, you can follow the radio.
It still didn't work all that well because it turns out the radio has multiple stations that work in different places.
Oh yeah. Yes, that was a thing. But yeah, it's so charming and it's like I picked it up and we played a session and then I was on vacation for a week and a half and I spent the entire vacation craving more time playing it.
I will say that I really appreciate it, and also it's like the game that best makes me feel like I'm doing the cool types of true dungeon puzzles, where like
Yeah.
I am like doing this interesting physical puzzle where I'm like interacting with friends and we're cooperatively working together, and they are not like too hard, but they are still satisfying when you solve them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, because importantly, like the puzzles in this game, they're not like super complicated puzzles. The difficulty in the puzzles is A, figuring out what it is you're supposed to do, because, there's very little like textual communication in this game. I don't know if there's been any since, the introductory area where you're first, learning the controls and stuff. And then once you've determined what it is you're supposed to do, it's all about communicating with each other and, cooperating. It's about, pushing buttons in a certain pattern. It's about transporting an extremely heavy object up a hill.
Yes.
Throwing bombs and trying to get them into a spot before they explode.
Yeah.
And sometimes throwing your friends.
Yeah.
I really, the ones I really enjoy are the ones where it's like, let's figure out how to do this communication puzzle. And what are the communication tools that are even available to you?
Because like sometimes a puzzle, you'll have one person will have to go into a room where the room is soundproofed. Like you can't hear them, they can't hear you, and you can see them and they can see you, and so you got to figure out, how am I going to communicate the information from within this room to the people outside the room that they need for this puzzle.
Yeah, we had one of those where two people got stuck on one side of a soundproof wall and one person got stuck on the other side, and we had to figure out what to even do to start getting out.
I really appreciated the one that had 4 rooms and you could only talk to the room. You could only communicate into the room 90 degrees clockwise from your room.
Yeah. So like room 2 could send to room 3 and could receive from room 1. And
Yes.
and each room had information that every other room needed to have. So
I also appreciate that this game is very good at highlighting the personalities of your friends. So
Yes.
You can see who's gonna wander off, who's gonna be really focused on the puzzles, who's gonna be really collaborative, who's gonna wander off into the sea.
Yeah.
Who's going to maybe throw an object that maybe we shouldn't throw?
Yeet.
The trailer shows the trailer it's hilarious. It's a great trailer. But there's a bit where they're like talking on a walkie-talkie, and then the person like punts it off a mountain, and then it cuts to sometimes your friend has dropped your walkie-talkie off a cliff, and you have to find some other way of doing it. They're like blinking a flashlight off into the distance. It's like, sorry. But it really is that kind of game.
Yeah.
And like delightfully so.
And like
It-
as you proceed through the game, you're, coming upon more and more interesting objects that you can use to communicate or to help find your way around. Ways to carry more than one object per person, which is incredibly helpful.
I also find it rather interesting that the ways to carry more than one object per person involve other people putting things on or off of you. You can't
Yes.
access it yourself.
Yes.
Yep.
No.
This
This
is
is
helpful when you happen to be a chaos agent and your friends want to keep something out of your hands.
Yes, we just put it on your back instead.
It also means if that object is, on the backpack and the person carrying it falls a distance, they don't drop that object, because you absolutely do drop what's in your hands if you slip and fall. And then
Yes.
it goes, sliding down the hill, and maybe you can find it again and maybe you can't.
And mostly you're looking for little pairs.
Yeah, weird little red pear things.
And like the like do puzzles to find little pairs thing is actually it's part of the structure that I really like, and I feel like enables the drop in, drop out. Cause like I don't know that I've enjoyed all of the puzzles, but I don't know if there's any singular puzzle that I'm like, oh man, somebody who didn't see this is missing out.
Yeah.
That is a reasonable statement. Like the puzzles are very neat. I very much enjoy them. I don't know that I would say, oh, I felt like I was super missing out on stuff.
Yeah. And so like it telegraphs really nicely that hey, something big and cool is about to happen. And you can say, okay, maybe I'll wait for other people to show up, or maybe I'm gonna, maybe we'll do this thing so that we can unlock the next bit. And so when we go to the next bit, then everybody's around and it's super exciting. And like all of that, I feel like, I there's definitely the like at whatever point we reach the wall, I want to wait until everybody's there and do it. But like there's like you can make like little bits of progress in the meantime. And in fact, even find stuff that we missed by just going through the same space again.
Yeah, we definitely ran into some stuff that we were like, oh, we didn't see that.
Yeah. Like I didn't realize that was there.
Yeah.
I thought we combed this area.
I was about to ask, have we solved the coordinates puzzle back at the like second zone we found, the secret coordinates puzzle?
Hell no.
Okay. I can't wait. That one I am looking forward to, because that one seems a little bit more mysterious.
I'm very
That
curious
one-
about that one. Yeah.
I did laugh a lot at that one because this was when Kodra ran off with the map and came back sometime later just like, okay, I lost the map, but I got this box. This box has numbers on it.
Well, no.
It was a
But
placard. Yeah.
even before that, when we were trying to find the final thing that opened up the map room, I was like, oh, I found another puzzle, but I have no idea how to solve it. And it was just an orange puzzle in the same area, and it just had a bunch of numbers written on a placard.
Yep.
And yes, but then we finally found the box that has numbers that move.
Yes. The numbers on the box change as you move around.
It's
So you
coordinates.
can see where this is going. Now we need to find that original placard again.
Yeah, I
I
know
don't
where
remember
it
where
is.
it is.
I know where it is.
Okay, good. Because I sure don't.
I sure thought I knew where a lot of things were, and then I jumped into it again and it did not.
That's probably also true.
But yeah, the game is such a delight. Like, it's exactly unhinged enough to be consistently funny.
Yes.
The We had a puzzle at one point yesterday where I was not totally sure what Ammo and Ash were trying to tell me, but I needed to place things in a slot. And so we hadn't discussed like how to confirm anything because we didn't know we would need to confirm anything. So my approach, we were on the opposite side of soundproof glass. And so I just sort of stuck a thing in a place and turned around and like raised both hands like hooray.
It worked.
It
Yep.
worked.
There you go.
Because then like after a moment, Ash raises both hands like hooray. And I'm like, yes, okay, next
We
one.
did it.
Hooray.
Yeah, that was a pretty fun one because we went in and we got the little bean or whatever right off the bat. We're like, oh, okay. And then up came the soundproof glass. And the real puzzle wasn't getting the item, it was getting out with the item.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Yeah, the puzzle to get in the item was hit these 3 buttons at the same time, at which point soundproof glass comes down around all of you.
Yep.
It's so funny.
It is really a delightful game. It does such a good job of enabling you to feel close with friends who are far away while you're playing this together and solving all this stuff and going on your big walk together. And I love the vibe zones with the music.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
yeah, that was one of my favorite spots with a little campfire and they had the speakers and the music. That was so chill. I loved that part.
I had a real like Switch rooftop hangout moment because in the trailer it's like maybe you get to the beach and you listen to some music and chill out, and I'm like, okay, that's very cute, but nobody actually is going to do that when they play. And then literally at the first possible opportunity we did that.
We did exactly that.
Yeah.
I mean, the game had made us do a bunch of stuff, and we're like, yeah, let's just chill out. This music is great, because the rest of the game is kind of quiet.
Yeah.
Unless you have a radio with you.
Yep. And we got to that like spot like right around as the sun was going to come up in the game, so it was just, like hang there, watch the sunrise. It was cool.
Yeah, it was a very lovely moment.
It's delightful. Sit and listen to music for like 3 minutes and then Ace walks into the sea.
Yep.
Look, it was beautiful, and I can't help it. If there's an ocean, I need to find out if I can be in it.
You sure could.
There are parts of this game that have no right being as pretty as they are for how goofy your avatars look.
Yes, your avatars look really goofy.
My wife saw me playing and remarked that they reminded her of Cooties from the old. It's not a board game because there's no board.
I
Is it
know
old
what
kids
you're
game?
talking
Yeah.
about. It
Oh,
might
yeah.
date me.
Yeah.
Where you're putting together like these plastic bugs out of parts, and they do. The avatars in the game do look kind of like those.
I do also remember these, even when I was growing up.
My favorite part is that you can see the little like, I don't know, nose thing getting bigger and smaller as people are talking.
Yes. Yes, that's how you can tell which person is talking.
Yes, and you also can't necessarily choose your own colors. You have to rely on your friends to paint you, which is also rather adorable.
But yeah, I've been having a blast with the game. I'm looking forward to playing more of it. Up next, I will talk a bit about Uncharted Waters Origin. So there is an old Super Nintendo game that I played a lot called Uncharted Waters 2 New Horizons, I think, or maybe just Uncharted Waters New Horizons. And the premise of this game is, in the first game you were a Portuguese explorer that was like trying to go on a quest, and it's very JRPG, but also you're on a boat exploring waters. In this game you can play as one of 6 characters, one of which is the first game's son, and you can go around and you can explore a lot of the world. Like including one person whose quest is like to sail to America, like one person who's like, I'm going to be the greatest pirate, and you can do a whole bunch of different stuff in this game. I remember it was really fun. I remember it was very hard, like figuring out how to just keep your fleet in like profitable territory and not just get completely wrecked by pirates was a bit of a challenge. This was a older era of video games that was happy to let you just fail.
Oh yeah.
But I've always like been on the hunt for that experience. And I was just looking online and I knew that this existed, but had never been like, can I actually play it? Apparently they have been making like free to play games in this for this series. Like they continued making games. They just didn't release in America, as my understanding.
Yeah, like it looks like there's like 5, 6 mainline games in the series, along with some side games. But yeah, I don't think apart from like the first 2 that they made it over here.
But so yeah, I've been playing the free to play game Uncharted Waters Origins, which is it's a lot of fun. Like it reminds me of the Uncharted Waters things. Like I am going around the ports, I'm figuring out what specialty goods they have. I'm picking up missions. I'm trying to deliver specific goods to specific ports. I can do battle with pirates. I can like purchase and build new ships. Like the big currency thing and the microtransaction thing is, do you want to have bigger, cooler fleets? Then you can do that, and microtransactions can help you. But you can also play it free to play pretty well. As long as you aren't like trying to do anything like competing on leaderboards or anything, of which there are, which
Well,
I'm
of
not.
course.
But at the same time, like I have been sailing around and like I've done some pretty long voyages. I started in Istanbul. I made it all the way up to England because I had to buy graphite for a quest, and that journey took a while. Like took probably in game like about 40 minutes to do, but I also didn't ever feel like I was in any danger because there's not really pirates in this game. Or there are, but like the pirates are there for you to go hunt, not necessarily to hunt you and be a problem. And so like if you want to level up your pirate hunting, you can fight pirates. But if you just want to be a trader, you don't really have to worry about pirates. And it left me feeling kind of unsatisfied.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, part of me is like, this game is a lot less frustrating, but also I'm bouncing off of it a lot faster.
Because it's not making you engage with the whole thing?
Yeah, because it's not making me engage. It's also not like making me nervous. It's not like I don't feel friction in this game.
Uh-huh.
Everything feels very smooth. Like there are definitely some frustrating quit points in Uncharted Waters New Horizons, and like I know that I have tried playing that game and bounced off a couple of times in the meantime because yeah, it's a rough start. But like when I was able to get the flow of it back in the day, I was really able to get engaged. And that might just be I was younger and more willing to like push myself through a game.
Mm-hmm.
But I do enjoy like it's similar to the stuff that I was enjoy doing in like space games where it's like I am on a like transit run. I am loading up cargo and I am going from one place to another. And that was fun. And then sometimes there's just some pirates that you have to deal with. I was playing this game though, and while I was doing so, a friend messaged me and was like, "Oh, you like Uncharted Waters? Have you played Horizon's Gate?" And Horizon's Gate is the game I've been playing a lot more of recently. It is it is definitely trying to be a spiritual successor to specifically the SNES version of Uncharted Waters. Although in this game, it's not real world. You're like in a fantasy game with like a Final Fantasy class style system and doing tactics based combat when you're not on a boat. And I also think this is a lot more interesting, and it being not the real world helps because I don't have my actual knowledge of geography to help me as I am exploring this uncharted world. Like in Uncharted Waters, it's like, ooh, I wonder where London is. But spoilers, I know where London is.
Yep.
But in this game, it's like, I wonder where I might be able to find, like, like coral. I have no idea where I should go looking for coral. Maybe I should just wander the coast aimlessly and see what harbors I can find. I also think this might have been why I enjoyed the Uncharted Waters more as a kid, because I didn't know any
Oh,
geography.
yeah.
And so it was a
Oh yeah, I can see that.
surprise when I discovered a new place to land.
Although, speaking of sailing games in the real world, have you played Sid Meier's Pirates?
I have not played Sid Meier's Pirates, and I don't think you're
You
the.
should play Sid Meier's Pirates.
Sid Meier's Pirates is definitely the vibe.
I should play Sid Meier's Pirates.
I did not. I have failed you. I did not realize you hadn't played Sid Meier's Pirates when you've been talking to me about these games. I just figured you had.
No, I haven't.
Oh, you
It's-
should. It's very good.
It is. This is an old game, right?
There's multiple versions of it. There's one from, I'm gonna say it's newer. So there was one that was either NES or SNES. That's actually the first way I played it. I mean, it was actually originally a PC game, but
I was about
played
to say one of these games is from when I was 2 years old.
But the one that is just Sid Meier's Pirates on Steam it's about 20 years old now. But it's such that's the new one, and it's such a good game.
Okay, so the new one is a good, faithful remake. It's not
Yes.
like you're telling me to go boot up a
Oh, no.
1987 game.
Yeah, no, it's just the same game, just with better technology.
Okay.
But yeah, it's great. I guess there's also Sid Meier's Pirates Gold has been like remastered by Night Dive, and so that's going to be more like actually the game as it was in 1990 whatever. So you can pick which one of those you prefer. The Night Dive remastered one is $1 right now, so
I will play the one from 2004.
that one's like $10.
I'm looking at Pirates Gold, and I am thinking of Guybrush Threepwood insults.
Yes. I mean, there is sword fighting in this game. It's great.
Oh man, this game is old enough that I don't have it on Steam.
I have it multiple times on Steam. I think I have it on Good Old Games. I have it on Steam. I have it like somewhere. I just have a CD copy of it. It's great.
All right, I will have to play this and report back. Cause yeah, like I like games. I like the idea of sailing around. It's also interesting to me because I feel like there is a space where somebody makes this style of game, but it's with airships, and like that should happen at some point. I don't know why it hasn't, but like when you play a game with an airship, the airship usually is just moving. Like it's to get you from point A to point B. But like, well, I have to caveat. There was that one game that I never got to play that looked so cool that was like you are 4 people like operating an airship in first person mode.
Yes. I wish that game were better.
Okay. I saw like I think I saw it on early access and I was like, this game looks awesome, and then I never heard about it again.
It was a Kickstarter game.
It was okay.
I kickstarted it.
I wish I wish that game was better because like the idea of being of the airship you are in and like the journey being interesting and not just a mode of transportation.
Yeah. I mean, the journey being the entire game.
Yeah. All right. Tam, it's new edition season once again. What does that mean?
Well, every few years there is a big year of new minis games rules, and for some reason, nobody just does one game. So like this year has been the advent of like, I don't know, 4, 5 announced new editions of games.
Oh gosh.
The some of which I even play. I think the first one that had come out was Star Wars Legion is having a massive resurgence because its new edition is apparently great.
Is that what I played at Gen Con?
I think yes, it would have been.
Okay, I was about to say, I played Star Wars Legion as the demo booth at Gen Con and was like, this game is sweet. I'm surprised I haven't heard more about it from specifically you.
Yeah, it's just one of those like I picked up Star Wars Legion when it first released. It was okay. And then I just sort of never bothered with it again. But like I've heard that the new edition is really, really good.
You know, it's a really cool idea. When you are moving a unit of people, you move one person, and then basically everyone else can move such that they are in base contact with that person and behind them.
The current caretakers of Star Wars Legion and Marvel Crisis Protocol and Shatterpoint have all done really good work with it. There's a new edition of one of the Fallout minis games that I've heard is good enough that I want to take a look at it. But then the big ones are 40K. The new 40K edition is coming out. I've played some of it. It's really fun. Not just because the Orcs Codex is coming out in a couple of weeks, but like just the way they've restructured the game feels it feels like you can play the stuff you want, but it's also more interesting. They're letting you do more interesting things, and I really appreciate that. And then Age of Sigmar has gotten some. It's not a new edition so much as they've packed so much into their yearly seasonal stuff that when they do a new season, it's a pretty big shift. And the current one has had a bunch of like really nice changes to it. And then of all things, Necromunda is getting a new edition. And I really wanted to like Necromunda. Several of us here tried it, but it's a little bit too. It was still a little bit. Even the newer one was still a little bit too like. This is a very 80s game, but the new edition, like really, really, really finicky streamlining things, or like or not streamlining, like crunchy things, where it's like, oh, you can only shoot at the nearest target unless you make a check. We're gonna make you make checks to make your checks. Just all like way down the line. They've apparently like smoothed that out dramatically. It is a good mix of people. People seem to really like it, and also people seem to think that it's people whose opinions I don't care for don't like it, which
Yes.
yeah.
Even better.
And on the topic of games with new editions this year, because there's a lot of them, that is even more than Necromunda is making a certain type of very long-standing player very mad about it. Battletech is getting a new, I'm going to call it a new edition because it might as well be. They are getting a revised rule book because they refuse to admit that they've ever had any additions to this game since 1987 or whatever.
Correct.
But the new rule book is significant and like dramatically changes a whole bunch of the way the game plays, starting with in the main core rulebook there are missions and recommended game sizes.
Ooh.
And in fact, a recommended mechanism by determining what your game size is, which I have to emphasize is a very basic thing that every minis game should have, and yet here we are. It's fine. But like going through it with I've been following a bunch of people who have had like early copies and have been flipping through it and going through it, and they're like, this is a much better Battletech than it's been before. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff that's been streamlined without getting rid of the like essential Battletechness of it.
So, but it's specifically BattleTech, not whatever their like front Alpha Strike.
Yeah, it's
Alpha
not
Strike.
Alpha Strike. It is specifically Battletech. There's a whole bunch of new, like they've changed how they classify a bunch of the rules and equipment in the game so that things are more available. The thing that's making a lot of people mad is they are explicitly setting where they are in the timeline.
Like
With
where the core game is in the timeline, you mean?
yes.
Oh, wait, are we retconning things?
No, it's just that the old starter boxes gave you some very simple, very straightforward, not very interesting mechs.
Sure.
And a lot of people insisted on only ever playing with those mechs. The new starter box for for anybody who doesn't know these mechs when I name them, the new 2-player like intro level starter box is a Hammerhead and a Contio.
I don't know the Contio.
Yeah. So they are both Battletech has a bunch of different eras. There's a lot of people who are playing in like one of the earliest 3 eras. Also, they should stop. And almost all of the new tech and new rebalancing and all of the mechs are available in the the most modern era. Both of these are from the most modern era, or close to. The Hammerhead is like one of the best medium mechs in the game, like full stop. It's just a super tanky, super reliable, durable workhorse of a mech. And the Contio is a fast, stealthy medium mech with claws that it can actually use.
Melee and Battletech? Gasp.
Yeah, it's a whole thing. We're fully engaged.
But I like my Inner Sphere mechs.
There's still many of them are still very good. Notably, the Contio is an Inner Sphere mech.
The Inner Sphere started
Clan,
making new
Clan
mechs?
era? Okay.
Yes, in later eras, the Inner Sphere started making new mechs with clan tech.
Wild.
We are out of the Dark Ages?
Yes. But yes, the Contio is a ghost bear. Widely used by a faction that is unheard of in like earlier eras, because it's what happens when clan ghost bear integrates with sphere, and then also the Capellans.
I was about to say, doesn't Clan Ghost Bear integrate with the Rosselhags?
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, like there's the new Battletech stuff looks really cool. The new Necromunda stuff looks really cool. The new 40k stuff is really cool. There's just this year is a huge year for new minis games doing interesting stuff.
So all of those games are games that, to me, like they are trying. I know Necromunda and BattleTech specifically have tried to do this, and I think Fallout also does, is figure out how to make campaigns interesting. And I don't like. I'm curious if you've looked at their campaign rules.
I have not looked I don't have the books, so I haven't looked at the Necromunda campaign rules or the Battletech. There's some Battletech campaign stuff that's been printed that I've heard good things about but haven't tried, but are they're like printed kind of like Zo Adventure Paths ish.
Like, yeah, I look at those things and I'm like, a campaign in a minis game sounds like such a cool idea. It does seem like a white whale for people to figure out how to make it work.
Yes, it's very challenging, because it's the problem that the thing that you have to figure out that nobody has really done a good job of figuring out is how do you not make it just like spiral out of control.
Yes, absolutely.
Because like Necromunda had this problem in a really, really way where it's like, oh, you could have somebody snowballing like immediately. And what I have seen of the new Necromunda campaign rules is they have clamped down heavily on that, but I haven't really seen them in action yet. Battletech campaigns are the other thing where it's not so much snowballing isn't so much a problem as bookkeeping. Like maybe I don't actually want to track fuel in gallons. But yeah, it's a tremendously difficult problem. Fascinatingly, Battletech has a bunch of solo play campaign stuff in one of their recent like expansion things.
Well, that's promising because then maybe you can figure out how to like in solo play make or cooperative play make many like enemy forces interesting.
Yeah.
Which I'm definitely here for that concept.
Same.
So I went away on vacation in July and feel like I might have missed the boat on a lot of people playing Gunfire Reborn. But I did like look it up and look at this game, and there is a character in here that is a deer, and it is also a turret class, which is like two of my favorite things. So I've basically been playing this game as nothing but the deer character, and yeah, it's really fun. I really enjoy this version of a turret class in which like I drop a really scary plant turret amongst things, and when they aggro on them, I'm able to pick them off from a distance with spells.
I love that this game gives multiple options for similar-ish experiences, and I play the other one of these,
Hmm.
which I also think is a delight.
What is the other one of these?
It's the Artificer who has a chicken bot
Ah.
or a chicken mech. I guess it's not a, but that one's different in that it can be a turret, but you need to decide whether it's going to be a turret or a like roving melee threat, and they both do different things.
Yeah, like for me it's definitely like I need to try and I put this turret up and then try and get enemies distracted by it, whereas yeah, the chicken bot sounds a little bit different. You need to support your chicken bot on its approach into the enemies.
Well, your active ability is you push a button and it drops on the enemies.
Oh, nice.
But yeah, it's also like we played it when it first came out, and then we hopped back in because they've updated a lot.
They have. I'm currently trying to get my way through elite mode.
Same. I would also like I'm also trying to work my way through normal with some of the less tanky characters. Because I've finished the game solo with some of the tankier characters, but the characters who can't take a significant hit have a really hard time with some of the end bosses.
I was about to say, I don't know. Does my character count as tanky or not? I don't
Not
think
really.
they do.
No.
But I could definitely I breezed through normal on this character. But I also am able to do some outrageous damage. Also, I like how different all of the weapons feel, although I definitely have some preferences now. One of the very nice things about this character I'm playing is that they just get to get staves to occasionally drop, which means I'm probably going to at some point see the fire staff. And I use staff in heavy air quotes because it's like a fire scroll that wraps around your arms.
Oh, that you can switch that to other elements, right?
Yeah, it can be.
What?
Mm-hmm.
How? Oh my goodness, I just figured out how. Thank you.
Yeah, no, it can be
technically
whatever
a
you
staff.
need. It's so good.
Wow. I thought this was a broken weapon when it was only fire. But I can
Very
make
good,
this be
yes.
corrosive? Ooh, boy.
A thing that your character likes very much? Yes.
Yes, my character wants corrosive. Well, okay. We discover things on the pod. I also just do not know. I for the life of me, I've tried melee weapons. I cannot imagine actually you being melee in this game.
I love being melee in this game.
Same.
I might need to be on a different character.
Probably.
Yes.
I mean, I want to be straight up with you. I'm pretty sure that the character I play is not supposed to be in melee under any circumstances, but that hasn't stopped me.
Also, most of the characters I play in melee are in melee with their own abilities, not with a sword. But also, some of them can use swords pretty effectively anyway.
Anyways, I haven't gotten to play this with anybody else, so I would love to do that at some point. I am not brave enough to sign up for randoms, though.
Yeah, I also have not done that yet.
So, Ashgar, can you tell me about Draw Steel Masterclasses?
So yeah, after they put out the core book, the Dragsteel folks have put together 2 new classes. One of them was actually almost done when they did the initial release, the Summoner. The other one was done a bit later. It's actually based on a 5e class work they did called the, Beast Heart? I was thinking Beast Caller, but it's Beast Heart.
Okay.
And these are the minion classes, 2 different takes on that idea. The Beast Heart first is so if you've ever seen Ranger in 5e, you might know that for a very long time, Animal Ranger was garbage. Like just completely unplayably bad. So when they were still writing stuff for 5e, they wrote together the Beast Heart for 5e, and that was a quote-unquote fixed version of the Ranger. So they're taking those ideas and bringing them to Draw Steel. So you have this class with a very strong individual companion, taking some ideas from the PF2 Summoner as well, so you don't get like double action economy. You sort of get like 1.5 action economy. But they have the unique thing where as you spend your resource, your companion gets its own resource called Rampage. And as this stacks up, it gets various bonuses, and eventually you start sharing these bonuses as you become more like your companion. So if you take the bear companion, for instance, you yourself get a bonus to your ability for being strong like a bear. And eventually you start getting damage reduction and even can increase to the same size as the bear if it is rampaged enough. And the other companions have other similar abilities. The variety of companions is also much larger than I would expect. In addition to a lot of animals you might usually see, there's dragon is a choice, elemental is a choice, hellhound is a choice, gelatinous sphere is a choice.
Hilarious.
Along with a very tiny sporling and a unique creature for the setting called a lightbender. So lots of cool art in this book, lots of cool writing, as is usually the case for Draw Steel classes. So the only thing here is that because the action economy is a little weird, they suggest you not play this as your first class.
Like
learn the rules before you pick up this class, maybe.
Oh, okay.
I mean, sensible.
So, but not like a class you shouldn't play. Because I was going to say, they don't have multi-classing in this game, do they?
No, they do not.
Okay.
They feel very strongly about that one.
Very strongly, yeah.
I mean, I feel like a lot of game designers feel very strongly about this.
So yeah, like it's not an advanced class. It's not anything you take later. It is just, hey, this class is slightly more complicated. You might want to learn the rules of the game before you try to also learn this class.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's not quite that multi-classing is everyone agrees don't. It's either don't allow multi-classing or force everyone to multi-class. Those are your 2 options. There's Lancer's philosophy on this, and then there's like Draw Steel and Pathfinder.
Yeah, and also even stuff like Fabula Ultima, which forces you to multi-class from level 1.
Yeah.
Like, it should not be optional. It's either core to your game or it does not exist.
Anyway, the other class is a Summoner, directly engaging the whole minion army aesthetic.
Ooh.
And as such, it actually uses Draw Steel's minion rules. Matt Colville has this big thing where he talks about how D&D came up with the idea for minions in 4E and this kind of dropped it.
Minions had problems in 4E, and people encounter problems and decide, nope, we don't want to deal with this at all.
Draw Steel's approach to minions is mostly fine. Enjoy it anyway. And in order to make a army summoner even possibly reasonable, this uses the minion rules for your summons. So it's another one where it's like, please learn the game before you try to play this class.
Mm-hmm.
But this one has 4 themes for your minions, as it were. Demons, which are mostly masses of eyes and teeth and stuff. Elemental, which ranges from nature spirits to just like your usual thoughts for fire elementals to weird dragon things. Undead, which is everything you might expect that to encompass. And Fae.
Oh no.
All of the descriptions are, again, great. For instance, later on you can get a champion, which is a larger minion that doesn't count against your cap of squads, the various other things. It breaks the rules. But it has things like your champion refuses to be referred to as a minion in the text of special rules for this thing. And And let me just read you the Fey one. Your champion is an attendant of a celestial. Whether you call on their assistance, you must formally welcome and introduce them to the occasion. You can't be certain if this is truly the blessing of a celestial you previously allied yourself with, or if you receive someone else's power. Neither circumstance puts you in any less danger.
Amazing.
Wonderful.
So for the other type of minion player, they have this class, which I think is outstanding because this felt uncatered to with the core rules, and now it's definitely here.
I also feel like that player fantasy is largely uncatered to in a lot of games.
Pathfinder 2 is trying, as long as you're okay with them being undead, I suppose.
Yeah, okay, but those minions feel terrible.
Do they really?
Like, I guess...
I mean, they're barely creatures, I suppose.
They're barely creatures.
It's trying to solve the problem in a different way by making you not have to deal with creatures that have their own action like that. They're really just like points you can use powers from. Turrets, as it were. But still, I'd rather deal with that than a summon spell in 5e trying to summon 8 creatures.
Yeah, that's reasonable. I'm just saying it still feels like a mostly underserved niche.
I agree. It's actually funny. Drawsteel was missing a ranger analog at all in the core book, basically. Which I know Tim has thoughts about whether we should be stuck with rangers as a class in general. So maybe he made some similar decisions.
Yeah. Everybody loves rangers.
Everybody loves the idea of rangers.
Yep.
But do they all love the same idea of rangers?
No. That's why there's multiple classes. I'm not going to rant about rangers.
Lord of the Rings stuck us with a do-everything class that does a lot of things poorly in many games.
Yeah, because you can't be Aragorn.
And also sometimes it's Robin Hood.
Yes.
Robin Hood, at least the Robin Hood fantasy is consistently one thing.
Which is definitely not Aragorn.
It's definitely not Aragorn. There's at least 3 different rangers that constantly get the name ranger, and maybe they should be different classes.
Matt Colville agrees with you. His game didn't have a ranger in it. Now it's got a beast heart, and that's one of the ranger ideas. It's only doing one of the ranger ideas. You have a companion. Your companion is very important. That's the thing we're going on here. Still not Aragorn, though.
Good. You shouldn't be allowed to play as Aragorn. He's a ridiculous hero for a reason. Overpowered by design.
Well, unless the game you are playing specifically wants you to be on unequal power levels, like, oh my goodness, Burning Wheel.
I thought you were going to say AD&D.
I thought you were going to say Ars Magica.
No, Burning Wheel explicitly calls out that maybe that they're trying to emulate stories like Lord of the Rings, and thus we should not expect all characters to be of similar power levels.
Well, and there absolutely are game systems that have been designed specifically to allow you to play something along the lines of Buffy the Vampire Slayer, where one character is way more powerful than the others. But you need a system that is specifically, designed to address that and expect that. D&D mostly has not been that thing.
Yeah, well, yes, that's not D&D.
The thing I remember about Ars Magica is that you made more than one character.
Yes. Everybody had a wizard, and everybody had the support staff for everybody else's wizards. So in any given session, one person is playing their wizard, everybody else is playing that wizard's, staff. And you rotate. It's a really neat idea.
Another thing we've gotten a chance to do over this past weekend is get a chance to relook at, what is it, Ashes, Rise of the Phoenixborn is the full name of the card game.
Oh, yeah.
Which has a co-op, it's like a 2-player co-op mode now.
Yeah, they put together some basically raid content that you can either do solo or with 2 players.
I am on record as loving TCG raid encounters. There should be more of them. I do think that the revised version fixes pretty much every problem I had with the previous one, at least in just what we saw. Mostly through relatively simple tweaks.
I it has been a long time since I played this game. I mostly remember thinking this game is neat. I kind of I feel like I should try and deck build for it, and then did a little bit of interest in that, but never really went anywhere with it.
Yeah, like there's a couple of really interesting things that it's doing that I like, because at its core, it's fantasy deck building TCG that you've seen. Like, you are a character, you are putting various things on the table. Many of them are creatures. You are fighting with those creatures. You're consuming resources in order to have all of these things happen, et cetera, et cetera. I think that probably one of the biggest design advancements in TCGs since Magic has been the concept of actions and limiting them, which I think does a good job to rein in snowballing. Because that's definitely a Magic thing where it's just I can cast 12 spells this turn.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep up. And Netrunner had, you get 3 actions. L5R did the same thing. And similarly, Ashes does it in a different way where it's you get an action, but you don't start a new round until all players pass because they can no longer take actions. So there's an interesting bit of strategy where if you do all your most impactful stuff up front, you're kind of leaving a tail for your opponent / whatever else to act after having seen everything that you can do.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're ramping up too slowly, you're going to not be moving as quickly. You're not gonna have the board state that you want. And I think that's an interesting series of trade-offs. But they also do a thing. What Ashes does is a thing that I don't feel like I've seen in very many places. I'm certain, because there's a bajillion Magic cards, I'm sure that there are some Magic cards that do this, but not it's not as core a mechanic. But these they're summon spells where you put the spell on the board and then can use that spell to summon a creature. And if that creature gets destroyed, then you can summon another one from that spell, so long as you have the capacity to do so. Nobody can call it tapping for copyright reasons, but
That said, there is an actual mechanical benefit to the system they chose to go with, which is exhaustion tokens.
Yeah.
That is to say, you can have more than one.
Yes. You can be extra tired, which I think is important.
I was about to say, they did actually print, and it doesn't sound quite like this, but they printed summons in the Final Fantasy form in a bunch of sets now because they did a Final Fantasy game in Magic.
Yeah.
So you can summon Bahamut.
Yeah, and the Magic equivalent of this would be and there isn't a Magic equivalent of this, because what I'm going to describe, you would say, yes, that would be overpowered, but the Magic equivalent would be a 0-cost enchantment that you can tap and pay a cost to summon a creature. And so the enchantment, it would be sitting out, and you could continually use it every time it gets refreshed to get a new creature if you needed to.
I was about to say, I actually have a deck entirely built around enchantments like these.
Yeah, but it's not so core a mechanic that it's on every. It's not showing up in every deck where it's showing up in every deck here.
Sure.
And I think that it's interesting. One of my favorite things about it is that I don't ever feel like I don't have enough things I could do, which leads back into that action constraints thing.
Well, the other thing going on here is that they have reduced input randomness because you can choose your starting hand, just straight up.
Oh, I do remember that. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
You have to pick 5 different cards, but you just get to choose your starting hand. And a lot of the constraints on what you can do are based on dice, not what cards you got.
And this was a thing that super frustrated me in the previous version, because I often felt like I was stuck with dice I couldn't use productively. And the biggest change from what I can see is that they reduced the costs of the things that you need, so that you don't actually need as many fancy dice. You're not just totally out in the cold if you didn't get a good roll. you're limited in what you can do, but you're not just like, well, this turn sucks.
But as for the actual enemy encounters, they have their own unique units that they sort of set up to oppose you. You roll a d12 to determine sort of what they're doing. There are tokens that cause them to get slightly more threatening as the game goes on, as well as if you are playing a minion spam deck, be real sad when something does 1 damage to the entire field.
Whoops. Is that just like a common effect for the enemies to have?
That's one that this had. Like whenever it hit its threshold of tokens and got to do an ability, it did first 1 damage to everything, and then the second time 2 damage to everything. There are, at this point, many theoretical raid expansions. This is just the one that we happen to have.
Ah.
I do not know what the other ones do.
I found myself very interested in what the other raids look like.
So the other thing that happened this week is Ashgar, you linked me to a new game.
I'm sorry.
Me as well.
Don't apologize. The game was Archives of Trevosa.
Yeah.
And this game is on itch. You can play it for free. And if you like games like Obra Dinn,
Root trees are dead.
What was it?
The root trees are dead.
The root trees are dead?
It's very the root trees are dead.
Interesting. I should play the root trees are dead.
You should play the root trees are dead.
Oh yeah, you should play the root trees are dead.
I have it in Steam. I know I should play a lot of games.
I mean, it's a game about filling in a family tree.
So this is also a game about filling in a family tree, but it's also a game about deciphering conlang, which is also fun. So if you like deciphering conlang, that's also there, and also like trying to put together the weird world that this is taking place in and figuring out what all of the various words mean. I have my own opinions. People don't necessarily agree with me, but it is a funny game and it's fun. It's only it only took me maybe a couple of hours to get through. But you sort of learn this new language and then piece together the story of this weird kingdom.
Yeah. Basically, you start out with a document and you can search for words that are in the document or like names that you've found or titles and find additional documents.
Yes, in the index.
And as you find these documents, they will give you information that you can use to figure out that, oh, this person is the parent of this person, or this name goes with this title, and so on and so forth until you filled in the whole tree.
Yeah, it was very funny. I had filled in basically everything except there were 2 proper names I had never actually encountered, and so I kind of had to like sift through who could possibly be related to these 2.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely did a little bit of vibe solving with it, but mostly like my intuition was correct, which also feels nice.
Right. Yeah, the other game it reminded me of a little bit because of the conlang aspect is Chance of Sinar.
Another game I should really play.
You really should.
Yeah, that game is really good.
Because that game it's entirely about deciphering conlang and specifically multiple conlangs and figuring out how they interrelate. It's neat. But yeah, Archives of Trevosa it's a neat little logic puzzle. It's like an hour, maybe 2 of gameplay. It's not very long, but it's neat. And it tells a neat little story.
It does tell a neat little story. I felt myself getting involved in the story. I really I think my favorite character was the Exile's daughter. I need to probably read through it, but I didn't see anything that really indicated strongly what her title was, but then I was like, oh, well, this is here as an option for title, and that's probably her, and it was.
I think, that was one of the ones where I was like, this title fits what the documents say about her. So I think this is probably it. And
Despite not really using anything like those words.
Yeah.
All right, but that might be a show. Does anyone else have any last minute topics to go over?
You have a hair over a week to finish your 4-job fiesta.
Once again, if you're going to be at Worldcon, let me know. And in 2 weeks, I'll have a report from Worldcon.
Woohoo! All right, I think that's a show. Well, thank you very much, and I hope you all enjoyed listening. Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Good night.
See you.